extremely important because you're trying to get better so you can play best basketball at the end of the year.
And later tonight, UCLA and UAB square off to close out this premier holiday tournament. Ahead to Baxter all the way in. Powell takes it in for the jam. But first, it's the Florida Gators and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Next, on the Battle for Atlantis on Access TV. Welcome once again, Paradise Island. Atlantis here in the Bahamas as we get ready to wrap up this Battle for Atlantis, the 4th year. And what a way to do it, with two of the great programs of the last decade accounting for 4 of the past 10 NCAA championships. The North Carolina Tar Heels from the ACC, the Florida Gators from the SEC, that rich, long decades of history for Carolina. And under Billy Donovan, the Florida Gators, certainly not just the new kids on the block anymore. They have been there and they have established themselves with 4 Final Fours over the last decade. Happy Thanksgiving week continues for you and yours. We hope Kenny Rice, Seth Davis, Tom Walsh, welcome into Access TV. Yesterday, North Carolina bounced back after losing to Butler. They were upset. They changed their lineup, and they won in a big way, maybe a surprisingly big way against UCLA. Meanwhile, Florida bouncing back from a tough overtime loss to Georgetown. They were able to win in the last moments of this game, pulling out in the final minutes against UAB, but they were not really happy even with the win. But they're looking for a go-to guy, and they found one on the bench in Chris Chiozza.
Just like our shirts are awesome,
yes,
Chris Chiozza was awesome last night. The freshman coming off the bench from White Station High School in Memphis, Tennessee, Florida, has really been struggling to score this season. They have yet to score 70 points in the game, remarkably, but Chiozza came off the bench, registered season highs, 29 minutes, 13 points after not scoring in the loss to Georgetown. I expect to see him on the court tonight, along with Casey Hill, and the big question, of course, is whether Eli Carter, their junior guard, will play. He did not play yesterday in the win over UAB. He warmed up. Not sure if Billy Donovan's going to get him to go. He's got a sprained foot right now. They could really use Carter, but Chiozza was certainly big.
There is certainly a go-to man for North Carolina, and he came through in a big way against UCLA last night. That is their All-American, a Player of the Year candidate in Marcus Page, Tom.
That's right, Marcus Page. He got untracked early. The outside shot was working for him, and it went great from there. He was the leading vote getter in the AP preseason All-American team. He's the ACC preseason Player of the Year. His game is unquestionably complete. Outside, inside, he can do it all. He'll be a big key tonight offensively for the Tar Heels.
And Page certainly writing his own chapter in that rich, thick Tar Heel history book as we look at North Carolina, and it's back to normal. Kennedy Meeks, Bryce Jackson, Tokoto, along with Page and Justin Jackson. That will be the starting lineups. Bryce Johnson and Kennedy Meeks, Jackson and Tokoto. They changed that around. Roy Williams did yesterday, and it worked. Here he is in his 12th season. This is his 400th game as the head coach at North Carolina, and of course, he's guided them to 2 NCAA championships. And for the Florida Gators, Dorian Finney-Smith, even with that fracture in his left wrist, played well last night. He's in the starting lineup again, along with John Horford, the former walk-on Jacob Kurtz, Casey Hill, who came on strong with 8.6 assists, and Michael Frazier, their outstanding three-point shooter for the Gators of Coach Billy Donovan, who is approaching his 500th career win. And since he arrived on the campus 19 years ago, 4 times they've made it to the Final Four, 2 championships. This is a team that made it to the Final Four last year, and they are coming in here, though, with 4 starters gone from that team, basically starting all over around Michael Frazier, and again, hoping they can find that go-to guy. Earlier today, as expected, it was number 2 Wisconsin winning this battle for Atlantis, 69-56 over Oklahoma. And Butler and Georgetown battled throughout, with the Bulldogs of Butler winning over Georgetown 64-58. And UNC getting here with a big 22-point win last night against UCLA, and Florida rallying late to finally win that game by 9 against UAB. And later tonight here on Access TV, we'll close things out with UCLA against UAB. What's been great about this tournament over the 4 years, the unpredictability. 3 ranked teams losing out in this tournament, trying to bounce back because this has been a good gauge of what to expect the rest of the season. The ranked team that has stayed true all the way, Wisconsin, making their statement today in defeating a solid Oklahoma team. The officials for the game, Gary Maxwell, Don Daly, and Bert Smith.
When a ranked team like UCLA is in the 7-8 game, that's a deep field. This has been another great 3 days here at the Atlantis.
And if you notice that bandage on John Horford's chin, that is from one of the best games that we have ever seen in this 4-year history of Atlantis. A back-and-forth overtime win for Georgetown. He caught an elbow early that required stitches in that game from the elbow of the big man Joshua Smith. And now we get ready to start with Bryce Johnson jumping it up against Horford. Tar Heels control. Jackson has it.
Eli Carter not in the game for Florida. He's on the bench. We'll see if Donovan puts him in the game. Could use him.
Meeks free firing and comes up short. Casey Hill front court for the Gators. And a turnover. Johnson with it for Carolina.
Florida only committed 9 turnovers against UAB. Don't want to be doing that against Carolina.
And Carolina makes a turnover, and here comes Hill. Leaves it for Frazier for 3.
Michael Frazier really been struggling with that three-point shot. He's one of the best in the country.
Jackson for 3. It's there. Carolina on the board first.
Pretty uncontested look right there. No one stepped out to contest. Was able to knock it down. Nice start there for the big man.
Not really part of Jackson's game. Want to let him shoot that, made him pay.
Three on the way, not there for Finney Smith. Florida continues to have trouble from outside. Pass ahead to Johnson. Not there, he goes to the line. Good lead pass and getting back late and committing the foul for Florida's Frazier.
Remember in their opening game now, North Carolina gave up 29 offensive rebounds to Butler. So Tokoto with a great pass ahead. One of the better passing forwards in college basketball, but that was a big point of emphasis for North Carolina in their win over UCLA. So far, a nice job on the defensive backboards.
Yeah, nice job by Johnson also running in transition. When the big guy gets out like that, you got to reward him, feed him the ball, and that's exactly what Tokoto did.
Johnson, a 6'9 junior, Orangeburg, South Carolina, 73% free throw shooter, misses them both, but Meeks keeps it alive for the Tar Heels.
Just kills you when they get an offensive rebound off of this free throw.
Johnson again not there. Horford clears. Here comes Hill for Florida. Hill all the way in. It's rejected by Johnson. Getting it back is Horford. Right back at it is Hill. Over to Frazier. Whistle before the shot. He was out of bounds.
Boy, Horford had almost a wide open look there on the rebound as you see him splitting the defenders, Casey Hill. And look, Horford's right there. And instead of going back up with it, he dribbles out with it. But it was a nice block on the glass.
Florida shows full court pressure. Tokoto guarded by Frazier. Down the middle, floater good by Justin Jackson, the freshman from Texas.
Florida really struggled early yesterday, offensively early.
Knocked away, whistle and a foul. It's going on Page. That's his first.
Got to be a point of emphasis tonight to go ahead and get something untracked early on. And that was a low-scoring affair early on yesterday and at the half.
This is the 6th meeting between these programs. North Carolina leads it 3-2. They last met in the Final Four in 2005. Florida won that on their way to the championship game. Frazier pulls up 16. Strong with it, kept alive by Finney Smith. Kurtz has trouble, another Gator turnover. Good defense by Carolina running. Jackson all the way in, can't get it to go. Florida 0 for 4 with 3 turnovers in this game.
J.P. Tokoto is just a defensive demon. So whoever he's guarding is going to have trouble holding on to the ball. Poked it away from Kurz, but they couldn't convert.
Chris Walker in the game as Finney Smith drives. Florida gets it right back. Frazier. Shot clock doesn't reset. 15 to go.
Florida would love to get a productive night out of Chris Walker.
Hill with the shot, no good. Walker battling and getting the rebound.
Just like that, just like that. He can give them that dimension. It'd be a big difference. More possessions for a struggling offensive team.
Chioza's getting ready to check in also for the Gators. That'll give them a little spark.
3 from the corner. No, not there. Florida still can't find the range, but another rebound by Chris Walker just off the bench for Horford.
That's 3 offensive rebounds on this possession. Gators really crashing the glass.
Finney Smith sees an opening, takes it in, hangs, can't get it to go, and it's ripped out of there by Bryce Johnson.
Good no call by the official. I thought Finney Smith initiated that contact. Good no call.
Jackson inside, Meeks. North Carolina up 7-0 and a 30-second timeout for Florida. Billy Donovan has seen too much already and not enough from his team. Another look at that last one.
Yeah, Kennedy Meeks, he just had nice inside position, beautiful entry pass, and it was just easy from there. Boy, Jackson's been playing really nice. He's got 5 points, and that was a beautiful assist to Kennedy Meeks, the big body down low.
Chris Walker, though, he's got to be in better position. He's got to be low and use his explosiveness. He's taller than Kennedy Meeks and supposedly a better vertical leap than Kennedy Meeks, so it should be really hard to lob over. Of course, Kennedy Meeks is a wide body, strong kid, lost a lot of weight, uses his strength well. But Chris Walker defending Kennedy Meeks in the half-court defense, that should be at least even, if not an advantage to Walker, but on that play it wasn't. Part of his growth, remember, he's basically a freshman. I mean, he came in highly recruited, highly touted last year, but didn't get eligible until February, so.
I like this move, getting Chioza in there. Kurtz goes to the bench. He was struggling a little bit here. Let's see if Chioza can get him on track.
Chris Chioza, big spark off the bench last night. Frazier takes it. Hill in the corner, goes to the lane. Double teamed and fouled.
And they got Pence in there.
Early on, Gators can't find the range. It's been all Carolina blue here in the Bahamas.
The 2014 Battle for Atlantis is being brought to you in part by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas. Discover the wonders of Atlantis. Visit AtlantisBahamas.com.
And back inside Imperial Arena, which is Imperial Ballroom, except for this week when they turn it into a basketball arena. The Tar Heels lead 7-0 over the Florida Gators. A matchup of 2 teams that came to the islands ranked. One team will leave with 2 losses. And back to action, Florida's ball. Hill, Finney Smith, Chioza, Horford, Walker. Chioza has it knocked away, stays with Florida.
And they've got Tokoto just hawking Chioza. Obviously, North Carolina's aware about what Chioza did last night in that game against UAB, and they put their best defender, Tokoto, on him.
It's just amazing to see a Billy Donovan coach team struggle to score like this.
Hill to the middle, gives it inside. Walker has it blocked. Rejected by Joel James. Scramble for it. Florida gets it back. Tie up. And a timeout called by the Gators.
Good job getting the deflection, Chris Walker, but he was in position to finish. If he had just gone right up with it, hesitated, went to the other side of the rim, and that gave the shot blockers a chance to catch up to him. Joel James was right there, but initially you see Walker had very good position where he caught the ball. Did a nice job staying with the play, though. I give him credit for that, but this game's 5 minutes old, and the Florida Gators have yet to score a point. They have as many points as Tom Walsh.
Gators right now 0 for 8 from the field.
Nice delivery by Casey Hill. Couldn't finish.
There you see assistant coach John Pelfrey. We talked about him yesterday, how long he has been with Billy Donovan. Going back to his playing days at Kentucky when Donovan was assistant to Rick Pitino. And after coaching stints at South Alabama and Arkansas as a head coach, he is back on the bench right beside the man he considers a brother, the boy from Kentucky and the boy from New York, bonding over basketball for the past 2 decades. In the corner, Horford, 3. 0 for 9 now, these Gators. Henson, Page, Tokoto, Hicks, and James out there for the Tar Heels. Tokoto has just been dynamite on defense, and now he hits a 3.
Yeah, he's got a nice stroke. We've seen that during this tournament. Tokoto absolutely can just take that open 3 and knock it down.
Eli Carter getting ready to check in now for Florida. Billy Donovan desperate for some offense. Of course, Carter was not good at all in that loss to Georgetown, 2 for 14. But he can't do any worse than not making anything. And right now, Florida is not making anything.
Florida's got to get something established inside. They're just outside on the perimeter.
And here come the 2 guys that are banged up. Dorian Finney-Smith with that fracture on his wrist. But he played last night. He had to miss a couple of games. And Eli Carter has missed 3 games with an ankle injury, including last night. But he's in there now, along with Chiosa. Finney-Smith has it out front. Shot clock is at 8. Chiosa with 4 seconds. Takes it in. Nice dish. Horford throws it back outside, and a shot clock violation. Turnover Gators.
That's 2 times now that we've seen Horford have a chance to do something inside and throw it out.
They were unaware of the clock.
Yeah, he obviously was not aware that the shot clock was about to expire, but you know, Horford's one of your big bodies. He's got to go up strong in that situation.
Isaiah Hicks inbounding the ball, the 6'8 sophomore getting his first start last night, responded with 10 points against UCLA, 4-1. That's the only thing Florida's leading in right now is the turnovers. Page, nice fake, takes it in and scores. Marcus Page.
What an explosive first step. That basket was made on that first step. What great explosion. Blew by the defender.
What a career. He's 41 points away now from joining that prestigious 1,000-point club at Carolina. Taking it in is Finney-Smith, and he charges.
Justin Jackson, the freshman, stepping in.
Jackson not blinking.
It's a close one. I'd like to see that one have been called a block. Moving a little bit, but starting to worry Florida might get shut out here. Has that ever been done? I got to look that up. I'm pretty sure that's never been done.
Kurtz comes back in the lineup. Not since the shot clock, we don't believe. We're not sure.
Man, I know in the old Dean Smith four-corner days you had some low scores in North Carolina, but
this would have been almost an entire game, wouldn't it? 12-0 once upon a time in the four-corner prior to the shot clock. And these teams we mentioned, this is the 6th time they have played. They played in 1923, 1926, and for whatever reason the series stopped until 64 and 65, which was the last time Carolina won a game between these schools. And finally, Casey Hill breaks the drought almost 7 minutes into the game. Florida is now on the board.
I like Florida putting a little full court pressure here, making Carolina work to get the ball into the front court.
Problem is you can't set up the press unless the ball goes in the basket. Nice delivery.
There's a nice feed inside to Hicks. Out of bounds, last touch North Carolina.
J.P. Tokoto just makes winning plays. Guards the ball, creates for his teammates, led to a turnover in that situation, but that was a nice delivery. Florida's got to get something going towards the basket. They don't have anyone they can throw it into. Now they got a real slow lineup now. Dorian Finney-Smith, Jacob Kurtz are their 2 forwards up front. Not a lot of size on the floor for Florida.
Carter comes around, takes it down the lane. Back out to Kurtz. Chiosa gets a screen from Finney-Smith. Shot clock at 8. Shot clock at 5. Finney Smith baseline and puts it through.
Boy, that was a difficult shot. Up in the air, off balance, banged it home right before the expiration of the shot clock.
Nate Britt in the lineup with the ball for Carolina. Britt getting his first start of the season last night. Inside, Meeks powers it in. Kennedy Meeks.
Seth, that's a mismatch right there with this lineup. Kennedy Meeks should be able to have his way inside.
Florida over back, turns it over once again. It has been a rough start for the Gators. Finney Smith getting that one inside. Florida still trailing those by double figures. And back inside the Imperial Arena, where the Tar Heels are off to a 14-4 start over the Gators. And Florida with a good crowd here tonight. Some of these we understand with a bigger crowd here by far is North Carolina. We understand some of these Gator fans will be leaving out on a charter jet in the morning so they can make it back to the Florida State football game showdown. And even during the timeout, it was a fan from, they're doing the chomp now. They're hoping their team can chomp down just a little bit. It was a North Carolina fan that won the balloon bouncing challenge over a Florida fan. Everything going North Carolina's way so far.
Absolutely.
It's Pinson, Page, Tokoto, Hicks out there on the court, along with Jackson.
I like the move to get Chris Walker back in the game for Florida. Meeks was just going to have too much of an advantage inside.
Britt hits that. Nate Britt hits his first one of the night. Straight away, Finney Smith, 3. Short. Rebound, Britt. Knocked away. Nice defense by Robinson, out of bounds. It'll stay with North Carolina.
Billy Donovan has his freshman Devin Robinson in the game. That was a long athlete, agile kid. He's shot 16 threes on the season, only 5 free throws. Would love to see him get to the line. Not developed yet as an outside shooter, but could be hard to stop if he puts it on the deck.
Henson gives to Johnson. 14 good. Bryce Johnson with his first basket of the night, and a 14-point lead for North Carolina. Frazier with the thought. Hill gives it inside Walker. On the baseline, steps out of bounds. Another Gator turnover.
Nice job by Jackson there to not give him the baseline. Forced him out of bounds when he went to the floor, did Walker. Good defense.
And I know Florida's struggling offensively, but North Carolina just swarming defensively with terrific effort, using their length, their quickness. They're really dug in.
Yeah, North Carolina really picking up where they finished off last night against UCLA, where they had the dominant victory over the Bruins.
Henson. Nice dump inside. Meeks finishes it off. Kennedy Meeks once again.
Just too easy. Too easy inside for Kennedy Meeks.
He has 6. Biggest lead for North Carolina. Tar Heels outscoring the Gators by 10 in the paint. Taking it inside is Hill, and he draws the foul. And Brent and Pinson doing a great job on defense. Come out, Tokoto coming back in along with Page. Gators ball left of their basket. Michael Frazier will inbounds. Kurtz back in the lineup for Florida. Chris Walker deep in the corner. Hill straight away. Casey Hill putting it through for the Gators. That's his 4th. Johnson out to Tokoto.
Carolina just has so much size advantage inside. Every time they throw it in, something good's going to happen.
Jackson misses, but Johnson is there for the follow jam.
Kurtz has to get a body on him. He came in untouched, easy put back for the dunk. Kurtz has got to get a body on him.
Robinson almost went with that three. Now gets it in low and has it stolen away. Good defense by Justin Jackson to get the steal. Page. Frazier clears.
Nice transition defense from Florida, I think.
Walker straight away off the mark.
By North Carolina. I mean, I think Florida would like to get up and run and get some more possessions here. But I'm not sure they want Chris Walker shooting threes. That's Chris Walker's first attempt at the season. You see Justin Jackson with the shot, Bryce Johnson with the follow, and Tom, you're right, nobody putting a body on him.
Horford comes back in for Florida. Gator full court pressure hasn't bothered the Tar Heels so far. Tokoto easily in front court.
See how valuable a weapon Tokoto is. Handling the ball. Not a huge scorer. Does everything else, though.
Yeah, I really like his game. He's very smooth out there, in control, confident.
Meeks backing in on Horford. Comes up shot with the short. The shot is short. Robinson rebounds.
Physically, Horford is a better matchup for Florida defensively on Meeks as Casey Hill drains the shot again. He's shooting with more confidence tonight than I think we've seen him all season long.
Yeah, he
He's
looks
the
good.
offense tonight. He has 6, averaging 4 on the season. And a rare bad pass by Tokoto. As just a bit outside. There's a souvenir for a fan momentarily. But Coach Williams can only applaud the effort of this Carolina team so far tonight. Doing almost everything right here. Hill all the way in. Comes up short. Tokoto comes over with good defense at the end. Goes out of bounds. Last touch Gators. It will be the Tar Heels ball when we come back. North Carolina 22, Florida 8. Welcome back as you look at the Florida fans. Doing the chomp has been the most applause tonight. The team off to a slow scoring start, except for that man, Casey Hill. He has 6 of the Gators' 8 points. North Carolina off to a fast start, 12-0 lead. They lead at 22-8 now with 7:57 to go here in the first half.
And the slow start's been kind of the hallmark for Florida during this tournament. A very slow start yesterday against UAB. It seemed like that game was 12-5 for the longest time. I'm sure Coach Donovan wanted to get these Gators off in transition, but it's just nothing falling early, and Carolina has been superb.
Florida shooting 23% from the field with 8 turnovers. That time the pressure works. First time that Florida's been able to force a full-court press turnover. And nice defense by John Horford, who transferred in from Michigan. And a graduate student with instant eligibility, a big boost for Billy Donovan's team.
When you're not making jump shots, you'd like to get some work done on the free throw line, but Florida has yet to shoot a free throw tonight. Not a good matchup for them in that respect.
Hill guarded by Page, now comes around front. Finney Smith with a notion. Now gets it back from Frazier and is fouled as he goes down the lane. Bryce Johnson commits it.
That's only North Carolina's 4th team foul of the first half, 7.5 to go.
2 of those on Bryce Johnson at the 7:34 mark.
I like Finney Smith's, though, aggressiveness, trying to initiate something in the lane, which has been something sorely lacking tonight for the Gators, so I like that.
Johnson goes out. Isaiah Hicks comes in. Out front, Frazier fouled.
Isaiah Hicks got to start last night, Kenny. Roy's shaking up his lineup, and he really came through. Played very well against UCLA. 10 points in 17 minutes, 3 rebounds, 5 for 7 from the floor. Had himself a nice night's work.
Tokoto gets the steal, and he's fouled by Casey Hill.
A little bit of a frustration foul by Casey Hill. He got double teamed, tried to split it with the dribble. Togodo picked his pocket. And he just kind of reached up in frustration. As you see, it's at the end of it. Togodo came up with it. A little frustration.
Carter back in the lineup for Florida. Ahead to Hicks, who was too far under for the jam and misses it in close. And here comes Florida running the other way. In the corner for three, Carter not there. Tokoto skies to bring it down. Jackson for three. Justin Jackson so smooth, 8 points already, and a 25-8 advantage for the Tar Heels.
Came in the night 2 for 10 from behind the arc. So of course he's 2 for 2. Boy, if he adds that dimension to his game, he's going to be real dangerous. Good-looking freshman.
In the corner, Frazier's three is finally there. The leading three-point shooter last year in the SEC puts it home.
Got to shoot his way out of it. Get that feel back.
And the press once again forcing a turnover.
That's the second turnover we've seen from Tokoto, who is not really prone to turnovers. So you're right, Kenny, the press paid dividends there, but uncharacteristic of Tokoto.
Theo Benson coming back in the lineup for North Carolina. He and Kennedy Meeks. Chioza brings it up court.
You notice how North Carolina, they do such a great job switching defensively off the screens.
Horford for three. Scooping it up. Finney Smith, Horford again. Not there. Benson the rebound, North Carolina. Jackson passes inside. Hicks back out to Jackson. Page with 5 on the shot clock, knocked away. Horford throws it ahead. Frazier has it blocked by Hicks. Goaltending counted. And Frazier going in. And yeah, nice call as Hicks is right there.
Nice call, but a nice effort too by Hicks. Frazier a little bit casual there on the break. Nice job by Isaiah Hicks chasing it down. He's made some great effort plays. I mentioned what he did last night, but the kind of effort chasing down a dribbler. Well done. And a good defensive set by Florida too. You know, that's been part of their identity discovery. A little better on the half-court defense.
Ahead to Johnson, all the way for the dunk. Bryce Johnson, that's the way to beat the press. Deep three for Frazier. Horford battling with Meeks and over his back. Another look.
Carolina big men are really running well in transition tonight. Nice pass over the top of that press.
Page guarded by Chioza. Benson baseline pull up, in and out. Chioza whips it ahead. Finney Smith all the way in.
Nice strong finger roll finish there for Finney Smith.
Right back is Page against the press. Push it through, and he's fouled.
The finish with the right.
Going with the offhand and a chance for a three-point play.
North Carolina attacking Florida's full court press. Not to set up their offense, but setting it up to score. John Horford late coming over, commits the foul. Taking it right down the middle of the court. That's the best way to beat the press, down the middle.
And Page, one of the great three-point shooters in ACC history, puts it through. And UNC has doubled up the Gators. Finney Smith is off. Pinson grabs it. Meeks straight away, 17. And Horford clears for Florida. Horford for 3. Still only 1 from beyond the arc tonight for the Gators.
John Horford now 0 for 9 from three-point range in the Bahamas.
Yeah, he's really struggled from behind the arc.
And Florida on the night 1 for 13 in three-point attempts as Horford goes out.
You know, John Horford transferred from Michigan, was a graduate transfer. Michigan right now is very young and inexperienced in the front court, so he would have gotten a lot of front court minutes at Michigan. Got his undergraduate degree, came to Gainesville, I think hoping to play farther from the basket, facing up and playing from behind the three-point line, but it's part of his game, guys. It can become part of his game, but it can't be the emphasis of his game. It's certainly not the strength of his game. At 6'10", 245, he could give them an inside dimension that this team so desperately needs. Just not what he wants to do. Establish yourself inside and then come out.
Chiosa. Nice ball movement. Frazier, 3 from the corner. Again, another Gator miss. They have missed 13 three-point attempts. Barry in the lineup.
Of all things Billy Donovan thought he'd have to worry about this season, Michael Frazier not being able to make a 3 was not one of them. Young man is just in a rough slump right now, but I'm sure he's going to come out of it.
Kennedy Meeks fouls Chris Chiosa. JP Tokoto. Shot on the way. It's good. Florida envies that. They're leading it 30-15. And welcome back to the Battle for Atlantis live here on Access TV. North Carolina leads 30-15 over Florida. Justin Jackson for the Tar Heels, the 6'9" freshman. We know he can do that, but he is showing an outside three-point touch tonight. And last night he had 12 against UCLA, 8 already against Florida.
Well, Justin Jackson is one of several highly touted freshmen on this team, an unusual type of player at 6'8", basically a shooting guard, and has really very quickly become one of my favorite players in college basketball because he wears number 44 in honor of George Gervin. And I saw him this week out in the lobby and complimented on that because I would bet fewer than 5% of Division I basketball players even know who George Gervin is. But
he has that Iceman physique too, doesn't he?
He sure does. He sure does. And different kind of kid, was homeschooled throughout his life and has come into this program, and very, very offensive-minded player. The one thing he does not do is rebound, and at his size, he should be able to get a lot of rebounds, but I think offensively maybe the best half that he's played so far this season.
And if Florida's looking for anything positive here, it has been the play of Casey Hill, who has 8 points now. Nice defensive side. Kurtz knocks it loose. Here comes Hill.
Well, out of control that time. Tried to go to the jump stop and just threw it up. Ill-advised shot.
Tokoto guarded by Devin Robinson back in, gives it back door, and it's wide open for Kennedy.
Chris Walker just flat out lost him. Just flat out lost him. Can't happen.
Meeks has 8.
Let himself get back screened and lost Kennedy Meeks, and all Kennedy had to do was catch it and dump it in.
North Carolina's beating them in the paint, and Florida still can't find that outside shot. 1 for 14 three-point attempts in this game. Chiosa over to Robinson. Nice hustle by Chiosa, knocks it out of bounds. He had 6 steals last night in the first half against UAB, and he was the spark in the game for the Gators.
I really like the rotation that Coach Roy Williams is implemented there for the Tar Heels. Every dead ball, it seems like he's bringing in some fresh legs. What a great bench he's got.
Johnson out, Hicks back in. Hicks got his first start of the season last night and responded. And everybody seems to have a good flow and energy about him for North Carolina after that tough first-round upset loss to Butler. Kurtz commits the foul.
There's no way that Jacob Kurtz is going to be defending JP Tokido 60 feet from the basket on the dribble. That's not going to end well, at least if he's going to try to pressure the ball, which of course is part of Florida's DNA defensively, but 1 for 14 from behind the arc. Not how you get Capone. And to be honest, I've spent a lot of time talking to Billy Donovan this week and listening to him, and obviously he's got his work cut out for him, but from an offensive standpoint, it's not easy to see how Florida is going to work their way out of this. I mean, they're going to have to really establish a defensive identity, get transition baskets when they can. But unless they find some way to get inside the paint, whether it's driving it or throwing it in there, then all you have left is the three-point shot. So it's going to be a process for Florida.
George Gervin or Justin Jackson also now back in the lineup.
The Iceman.
For Carolina.
Who didn't have the Iceman poster?
Oh.
George Gervin in the gray sweatsuit with his legs crossed, 2 silver basketballs, an ice cube stacked to the ceiling.
It's too great. And listen, Google the ABA. What a great league and some great players there. And inside Carter draws the foul.
Right now, folks at home watching us saying, man, how old are these dudes?
Really old.
Talk about the ABA.
Old enough to remember a red, white, and blue ball when it meant something. You didn't use it just on the beach.
Well, you got a few years on me, but I got a few years on a lot of people too. They add up fast.
Yeah, that was when that was another Spurs team, before they started winning all these titles back in the ABA days. Carter misses that. Kurtz comes in. Finney-Smith goes out. So Florida has Carter, Robinson, Chioza, Walker, and Kurtz out there now. Pinson, Page, Tokuto, Hicks, and Jackson for North Carolina.
Chioza's giving him some nice minutes once again. I really like this young man. I think he's very creative. I think he's got a very high basketball IQ. Nice feel for the position. Not the biggest fella, but he is effective.
Talked to Billy Donovan after the game last night, Seth, and he was happy that somebody came in with energy. Somebody came in wanting to play, and that was Chioza.
Well, I have to say, I do think they're trying hard. I mean, it's our third time watching them in 3 nights. They're not big timing anybody. They're not taking anybody lightly the way North Carolina did in their opener against Butler. I mean, they're trying real hard. And of course, they've been banged up. Dorian Finney-Smith has 2 hairline fractures in his left hand. It's not a shooting hand, but it's not easy to play. Eli Carter's in the game, but he's barely practiced.
And when you're counting on those 2 guys with 4 guys gone from your team a year ago, that's been a big setback early on when these guys have had to sit out games.
Eli Carter's got that sprained foot and woke up yesterday morning real sore. Tried to give it a go in warm-ups. They need to get him some rest and some treatment. Get healthy, get ready for the SEC.
Kurtz back door, nice pass, and Kurtz finishes it off. His first 2.
Now Carter is point guard now because Chioza and Casey Hill are on the bench here this last minute and a half. Nice delivery.
Looked like a pretty good point guard
for
a
no,
moment.
Nice
there.
delivery, yeah.
Tokuto can't get it. Action inside, pushing off.
See, I like Devin Robinson attacking the defensive glass there. He forced the issue. That is something he can definitely do if he sets his mind to it. You get a good look at him there. Was terrific all summer, early fall workouts.
That's a second on Isaiah Hicks as Chris Walker goes to the free throw line.
And you guys will see Chris Walker's form here at the foul line. Looks pretty good. He's about a 75% free throw shooter. Didn't make it, but he's got nice form. But he's got to get there. He's got to power his way to the rim. He's got to get fouled and convert.
Page, straightaway 3. Off the mark, nice hustle by Jackson to save it. Kurtz claims it though for the Gators. Four-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Frazier forces it up and draws the foul from Pinson.
Nice work by Michael Frazier there to draw the foul.
And Frazier, who had 14 against UAB last night, The only starter back from that Final Four team a year ago goes to the line shooting 3.
Only Florida's 3rd free throw attempt of the night. Or 4th rather, after Walker's.
Meeks comes back in for North Carolina. Chioza back in for Florida. Frazier on the mark. He has 8. Page brings it up with 15 to go in the first half. Page baseline, leaves it for Hicks. Back out to Page. 2 seconds to go. Tokoto at the buzzer, yes! And that caps off a strong first half for North Carolina. Total control, these Tar Heels, and another look.
Florida did everything right defensively on that possession.
And
Devin Robinson, the great closeout. Tokoto just knocked down the tough shot.
standing by with Billy Donovan. Let's go to Tom.
Coach, team was a little cold from the three-point arc, obviously, in the first half. What do you tell the team over the intermission?
Well, you know, I thought we had some really good looks. The difference is they've made shots. Their players have stepped up and, have knocked them down. And, give them credit. Our guys have not. We have not shot the ball well. Some of our better shooters. And the difference, I think, if you look at the stat sheet, you'll see their guys 3 for 5, 3 for 6, 4 for 7, and you'll see our guys 1 for 8, 2 for 7, 2 for 6. And that's really the difference in the game. And, we played some good defense, but, their players made shots, ours did not.
Seemed like you got some traction, though, when you went to the press there.
Well, we got some good minutes out of the press, but at the same point, we still have got to convert. Outside of Casey Hill, offensively, there wasn't really any bright spots for us.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Kenny?
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Coach Donovan. And as you heard from Coach Donovan, they've gotten good looks. They just haven't been able to convert. Only 1 3-pointer made. Meanwhile, Marcus Page, the All-American, and his Tar Heels lead it 39-23 at the half. And the premier tournament, the battle for Atlantis, coming in here tonight. 3 ranked teams in action, including the number 5 Tar Heels, in control 39-23 over the cold shooting Gators. And just moments ago, Tom Walsh caught up with Coach Roy Williams.
Coach, you were able to shoot almost 58% in the first half. You held Florida to about 29%. Your thoughts on that first half performance?
Well, we had 10 turnovers, and you can't do that. I know it's going to be an up and down game in Florida presses, but we've thrown it in the third row of the bleachers about 15 times. It seems like cut down on our turnovers, try to make sure we get a hand up on their shooters and not let them give 7 offensive rebounds.
Have you appreciated the work that your guys have been doing inside?
Well, we've gotten inside and made some baskets. We also, our centers decided they were going to be jump shooters. We can't have that, though, Tom.
All right, good luck.
Always looking to keep tweaking this team because Carolina came in here, and obviously Wisconsin, who won the tournament earlier today, has 2 teams to look for down the road in the Final Four, and we have seen teams come out of here, most notably Louisville, that finished second to Duke in this tournament 2 years ago and then went on to win the NCAA tournament. That's how strong the field has been. Last year, Villanova, unranked coming in, and of course they proved themselves to be one of the top teams in the country as well going out of this tournament. And Wisconsin living up to the billing, of course, today, winning it all.
I was going to say, someone tell Roy he's up 16.
Isn't that what makes these guys really good, though?
Yeah.
Said to the big
Well,
picture?
he's right. He's right about the turnovers.
Yeah.
They've been very sloppy with it and taking some chances, but you know, in terms of his big guys being jump shooters, I mean, as long as they're making it. I mean, Kennedy Meeks is 4 for 7. Bryce Johnson 3 for 4. JP Tokudo 2 for 3. So I think as a coach, you're going to be happy, you know, as long as the shots are going down. And it's not like those guys are not capable of doing that over the course of the season. He's got enough front court players they can play inside out.
There's the Hall of Famer. He's guided teams to 7 Final Fours and runner-up spots with Kansas in '92 and '03, and then championships at North Carolina in 2005 and 2009. Lifetime, he is 2-1 versus Florida teams. All 3 of those games when he was at Kansas. As we get ready to start this second half, Kenny Rice, Seth Davis, Tom Walsh, our executive producer Daryl Ewald, our director Jason Vaughn, and all our crew. We hope you're having a good Thanksgiving week and still maybe having some turkey today as we get ready to start this second half. There's Marcus Page, the All-American, 21-point game last night against ranked opponents. He rises to the occasion, as you can see, at least 20 when he's facing someone that has a number in front of them, as he did against UCLA last night. He has 7 as we get ready to start this second half. And it will be Frazier throwing it inbounds to Casey Hill. Finney Smith is in there, along with Horford and Jacob Kurtz, the original starters for the Gators. Finney Smith loses it. Jackson comes out with it to Page. Tokuto gives it to Meeks. And the other man out there is Johnson, the original starters for North Carolina. Meeks cut off on the baseline. Meeks tries to muscle it up again. Florida with good defense. Finney Smith comes out with it. I thought Billy Donovan made an interesting point to you, Tom, just before he was going into the locker room, as taking it all the way in is Hill. Can't get it, but he'll go to the free throw line, drawing the foul inside. He made an interesting point in that while his team from three-point range is 1 for 15, for the most part, they've gotten good looks.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. And I think that's who Florida is this year. They're going to, I think, live and die from the outside. They just don't have great size inside. And I think, you know, they're just not dropping in the first half. They're going to keep shooting. That's who they are. And I thought that was a great point by Coach Donovan.
And Seth, as we mentioned earlier, while Chiosa gave him a big spark, it isn't as if there's a complaint as Hill now hits double figures. Can't be a complaint with the way they play. They play hard, just not well at times.
Well, you know,
there's a steal. They played well there. Frazier gets it, lobs it to Finney Smith inside. Drop step and block. Jackson comes over to get a hand on it. Here comes Page. Meeks trailing, gets the rebound, knocked away. Nice steal by Frazier.
Another North Carolina turnover.
Frazier for 3.
There it is.
Frazier knocking down the 3.
Started with the turnover on the offensive end for North Carolina, and Michael Frazier, the second, finally getting one to drop and down to 11-point lead.
Frazier, 2 3-pointers now in this game. The first one of the second half for Florida. They have come out hot.
The 2014 Battle for Atlantis is being brought to you in part by the NASA Paradise Island Promotion Board. NASA Paradise Island. It's better in the Bahamas.
Something happened in the locker room, a different start that gives Gator fans plenty to clap about right now. Florida didn't score their 5th point until halfway through the first half. And here in the second half, they're off to a 5-0 run in the first minute and a half with a 3-pointer by Frazier. He has 11 in the game, and the North Carolina lead is down to 11. Full court pressure again by Florida. They've already forced a couple of turnovers. And a foul on that one. Frazier right with Tokuto, and it's going against the Gator.
I'm not sure Tokuto is going to be able to run that one down, Seth. The foul really bailed him out.
Yeah, that did, Tom.
A little defensive pass interference there. North Carolina got to be a little more careful with that basketball. 11 turnovers so far. It's allowed Florida to stay within contact. This is the closest Florida's been in a long time.
Page guarded by Hill. Inside, basket and a foul. Meeks.
I don't know how that ball, that pass got through to Meeks. It looked like Finney-Smith was right there. I'm not sure if it went through his hands. Let's take another look here. They swing it over. Well, just a nice hard pass. Finney-Smith just not able to get over. Good rotation by Carolina.
Good pass by Bryce Johnson. Meeks at the line. Hill gets a screen from Finney-Smith. Right with him is Page. Stolen away, Carolina. Meeks throws it back out of bounds, so it goes the other way.
Kennedy Meeks, just a really bad decision. Got to be more careful with the basketball, especially knowing that it's been a problem this far. You know that Roy addressed it in the halftime locker room. Value the ball. Giving a team that's been struggling some signs of life, some belief.
Finney-Smith takes it down the lane, left hand. Rejected by Meeks. Carter in the game for Florida once again.
See how much more active Florida is offensively right now. Much more in attack mode. Backfired there, but I like the mindset of Florida right now offensively. They're in attack mode.
Carter picks up his first.
Take as many charges as they want. Get to the rim.
Tokoto breaks the press. Cutting through Jackson, and he's fouled.
Well, Jackson started this game very nicely. Hit a couple of threes. Hit a little running one-hander. He has been a very, very key contributor on offense tonight for the Tar Heels. He does have a nice stroke, Seth. You talked about it earlier. Besides paying homage to the great George Gervin with the number 44, this guy can play.
Frazier comes in, Carter goes out, and George Gervin's name has been mentioned more tonight than when he was driving around Willie Wise and the Utah Stars on the baseline.
He's about a 79% free throw shooter, Justin Jackson, so
I like the ABA reference there, Kenny.
it'd be hard to keep off the line with his frame and his ability to drive.
Straight away, Horford, good look at a three, and he converts.
Well, let's see if that gets Horford untracked. He has really struggled this whole tournament from behind the arc.
Inside Horford. Nice hustle. Nice hustle.
Nice play. Beat Kennedy Meeks to the ball and then threw it off his chest. Just ripped it out of his hands, falling out of bounds. Made the smart play, but you're right, Tom. That's the first three-pointer that John Horford's made here in the Bahamas. I think Billy Donovan felt like those were good shots in the first half that they got. They just weren't falling down. They're going to keep shooting now. 3 for 17 from behind the three-point line. Only down 12. That's a chippy right there on Bryce Johnson. Good call.
That's his third on Bryce Johnson. And Watching Roy Williams, a teaching moment as he was showing the reserves over there how to stay vertical. Extend your hands upward, don't lean in. Guess that's how you go to 7 Final Fours. Inside jam, Horford. Beautiful feed, and Horford finishes it off.
And one of the few baskets inside for Florida tonight, and that one was with authority. Great pass to find Horford alone under the basket.
Page racing down the other end. Out of bounds to Florida. The Gators are rejuvenated. John Horford, the jam. Florida back in it here in the Bahamas. And early Christmas wishes, I guess, from the islands as well. In Thanksgiving tradition, they decorated the trees here this week at the beautiful Atlantis. And this, the 4th annual Battle for Atlantis. And you look at a pumped-up Florida huddle right now. North Carolina led by 18 at one stage in this game. They led by 16 at intermission. John Horford with 5 points, helping this spark here as Florida cutting the lead down to 10. And when we return to action, the Gators have the ball. And they have Finney-Smith and Hill, Frazier, Horford, and Kurtz on the hardwood.
You know, part of the issue that North Carolina's having here, guys, is that really Marcus Page is the only guard. Forget about the only point guard. He's the only real guard in the lineup. They play 1 out, 4 inside. So there's 4 front court players playing alongside Marcus Page, and those other guys aren't great at handling the ball.
Frazier double team Kurtz, quickly gives it over to Hill, back to Kurtz. Kurtz with the basket, his 4th. Great feed from Hill, and Florida has cut it down to single digits for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that was a nice give and go from Kurtz to Hill, back to Kurtz.
Jackson knocked away.
Clearly a different energy in this Florida Gator team here in the second half.
Johnson takes it inside, reverse, not there. Here comes Hill running. Takes it all the way in. Tokoto there to knock it away. And Horford there to save it.
Again, Horford, I thought, had a chance for a putback, but he's looking to throw it out and not go up strong when he gets it inside.
Jackson ties up Frazier. Arrow pointing to North Carolina. Tar Heel ball.
That's one thing I think Horford needs to work on. I think that's 3 by my count.
Florida gaining confidence right before our eyes. Gaining an identity.
Tokoto spins his way in front court. Baseline, gives it over to Joel James, who's back in the lineup. Foul before the pass. Devin Robinson comes in to replace Kurtz.
Kurtz gave him some nice minutes here in the second half. I thought he struggled in the first half, but a positive contributor here in the second.
Chris Chioza comes in to give a well-deserved rest to Casey Hill. Meek sets a screen outside, gets it back in from Tokoto and puts it through. Beautiful bounce pass, nice reverse.
What a feel for the game he has, Tokoto. Pleasure to watch.
Chioza knows where to go.
This Horford down the back door.
Turnover. Carolina up by 10 and with it. Foul. It's going against Finney-Smith.
Good recognition now by North Carolina. Game getting away from you a little bit. Pounded inside. Get close to the rim. You see Roy Williams there. He's got a history of vertigo issues. This has happened to him several times over the course of his career.
Finney-Smith going out. He's picked up his 4th foul. Bad news for the Gators with just over 14 to go. 4 fouls on Finney-Smith, who goes to the sideline. Kurtz comes back in. Jackson, three not there. And it's cleared out by Frazier.
Roy back up on his feet on the sidelines.
Horford, left hand, beautiful move by John Horford.
There you go, something inside from John Horford.
Florida's cut it back to 8.
Nice move, he finished with the left.
Again, just as everything was going well for Florida, Finney Smith picked up his 4th. We'll see how long Billy Donovan sits it. Page, good look at a 3. Back of the iron. Battle inside, whistle, foul. Pick a number.
I think they may get Robinson.
Robinson getting his 2nd. Chris Walker, Eli Carter returning to the Gators lineup. Hill and Horford out.
I love that camera view from up on top of the basket like that. You can really see these young men competing hard as they're looking up, going for that basketball. Great determination by everybody in that last shot.
Jackson with 10 already. Had a dozen last night in the romp against UCLA. And 12 again tonight.
North Carolina's had foul shooting issues this season, and especially last season. They're really bad in that loss to Butler, but much better tonight.
Theo Pinson comes back in the lineup for Carolina as Jackson goes out. And Carter brings it in front court for the Gators. He and Robinson, Frazier. Kurtz with it. Walker's down low.
Second time we've seen Frazier slip on the court.
Robinson outside Carter, a long 3.
Another open look. That one was deep, though.
Pinson gives it to Nate Britt.
Really good defensive set here for Florida.
Shot clock at 8. Shot on the way by Johnson, rattles out. Carter clears.
Terrific half-court defense. Jumping out on the screens up top. North Carolina unable to get into the paint.
Robinson slashes down the lane and draws the foul.
There you go, young fella. Now you're playing.
Strongest move we've seen by a Gator tonight to attack the rim on a contested shot. Here he comes, just with authority. There's the foul, and he almost finished.
We'll see if he can when we come back to the Bahamas. North Carolina leading it by 10. And their Hall of Fame coach very much always in the game. Carolina up by 10. 11:57 to go here in the battle for Atlantis. Gator fans cheering more here in the second half. North Carolina led by as many as 18 by 16 at intermission. Florida has cut the lead to 8 points. North Carolina now has it back in double figures, and as we get back to action in this battle for Atlantis, it's Devin Robinson, the 6'8" freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia, going to the free throw line for 2.
You know, Kenny, in the first half, Florida shot 29%. Here in the second half, shooting a little over 55.5%, and 2 for 3 from the three-point arc.
And these are Devin Robinson's first free throws since he's been to the Bahamas, by the way.
And he makes the most of them. Again, Florida's cut it to 8, and they put the pressure on.
6'8" long athlete, put it on the deck.
Britt gets the pass from Meeks in front court. Pinson, Hicks is there along with Page.
North Carolina going to try to get it to Hicks or Meeks down low if they can.
Page, left side, hangs, it's rejected. Nice defense inside. Good hustle and save by Penson.
Florida really doing a nice job of playing defense again for yet another possession.
That's the growth of an identity. I think they know that their half-court defense has to be outstanding.
Down low. And it's Meeks once again.
Nice tip by Meeks.
He's just bigger than Kurtz. Kurtz was in position, did all the right things. Meeks is just bigger and stronger.
Yeah, bigger, stronger, and had great timing on that one.
6'9", 270 against 6'6", about 215. Robinson hangs in the lane, follows his shot, Meeks clears.
Nice move by Robinson, just didn't finish.
Page for three. He's fouled and he's going to the line shooting three.
Easy call. Close hard, close too hard.
You know, it's amazing to me that when he was a freshman, Marcus Page really did not score that much. He didn't have to on that team. He had to step up last year as a sophomore. He's got such a complete game, and you just don't want to put that guy on the line for 3 free throws.
But you know what? I think Billy Donovan can live with that foul. Obviously, you'd rather he not commit that foul, but there's a lot of effort and tenacity and excellent communication in the half-court defense for Florida. When you're struggling to score, you've got to find other ways to hang in there, make this a game, and they have. I give them a lot of credit for fighting through this.
I do too.
Page almost automatic. He entered the island shooting 85% for a career. That's the highest percentage of any North Carolina Tar Heel ever. And you think of all the greats that Dean Smith has coached, that Roy Williams has coached, and good hustle there, trying to keep it alive by Hicks, and a rare miss by Page.
Yep.
Hicks sticking out the hip.
Yeah, that's just, it's been a point of emphasis for the last couple of years with officials. Any kind of hip checking, hipping cutters with or without the ball.
He's committed his third. On the bench for Florida is Dorian Finney-Smith, who has 4 personal fouls.
Chioza also on the bench, who's been their spark here in the Bahamas.
And Finney-Smith on the inside against especially these big bodies of North Carolina.
I think Billy Donovan likes what he sees right now from Devin Robinson.
Robinson really showed some explosiveness and quickness that last time down, missing that shot and almost with that quick offensive putback, it just didn't fall.
Hill pulls up 17, it's off the mark. Battling for it, Robinson keeps it alive. Hill down the lane, and he's fouled. Nice hustle by Devin Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson's really flashed in this game in a very positive way. Very quiet in this tournament, but tonight making his presence felt. He's got that great quickness.
And the purpose of a tournament like this, to play high caliber competition, bring your young players in, see how much they can grow, how fast, and of course your veteran players like Wisconsin has, see what kind of test they can stand. And we saw them do it, winning the tournament earlier today. North Carolina, meanwhile, bouncing back last night big, being tested here in the second half by the Gators.
Here comes that Gator pressure, full court.
Britt gives it to Hicks. Florida saying it was 10 seconds. Three-pointer on the way, good by Nate Britt.
You get that second ball handler out there with Marcus Page, they become a lot harder to press.
It's like a kick in the gut, though, when you think you've got the 10-second violation, then you go down and have a 3 hit on you.
Hill driving back, he's fouled by Britt.
Now they're doing a lot of clear-outs for Casey Hill, not even sending a ball screen for him. Try to get him going to the basket and then rebounding on the weak side. Florida a lot less reliant on the three-point shot here in the second half.
Next team foul from Carolina will put Florida in the bonus as Horford returns. Finney-Smith now in the lineup again as well.
And Finney Smith with those 4 fouls. I think it was the right move to bring him back now with about 9.5 to go.
Finney Smith, 3.
Good shot, open shot. Didn't go. Lather, rinse, repeat.
That certainly was the first half, wasn't it, for the Gators? Nice pass. Finishing it off with the dunk is Hicks, and the assist from Meeks.
Eli Carter was slow on the rotation there. Got to get there quicker.
And Carolina has opened it back up to 15. Carter with the 3. Horford chases it down. Carter another 3. Meeks clears this time. Hicks down low again and takes an extra step. Turnover, Carolina.
Hicks just going a little bit too quickly there. Shuffled his feet. Could have gotten called for the charge. Active defense from Florida. Yet, down 15.
See the turnovers. Neither coach too happy with those naturally. Casey Hill operates, pulls up. Short, foul, goes to the line. Joel Berry committing the foul. And going to the line, Casey Hill, who already has a season-high 12 points in this game. Perfect on both. Chioza comes in the lineup once again. Finney Smith going out. Full court pressure. Meeks to inbounds. Hicks comes to help out. Fires it ahead to Tokoto, who's back in all the way with 3 Gators on him. He'll go to the line. J.P. Tokoto right back in the game, wasting no time charging to the basket, drawing the foul.
Florida just loses. Michael Frazier loses Tokoto there. You have Kennedy Meeks all the way in the backcourt with the ball. That's exactly what you want. Center with the ball all the way in the backcourt. Then the help side free safety lost his receiver. That should not happen. Especially when you're down 13 and have a hard time scoring.
Tokoto with 9 and 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Tokoto becomes the 3rd Tar Heel in double figures tonight. Chiosa thought about it. Horford will take it. And Tokoto goes in and gets the rebound as Robinson goes to the deck. Foul inside. And a break in the action. Florida has made a run. How many more do they have? Horford with the nice move here for the Gators. North Carolina, though, having their own response. Hicks inside, his team up. Back here at the Battle for Atlantis, Paradise Island, Nassau, the Bahamas, in this Atlanta resort that is a focal point for college basketball fans now. Thanksgiving week, now in its 4th year. They announced the field for next year. It's going to be a terrific field as we look at North Carolina's J.P. Tokoto with 10 points. Just another solid game for the 6'6" Tokoto out of Wisconsin. Had 10 points against UCLA last night.
Yeah, you got another great field next year. You got Michigan, Syracuse, Texas A&M.
Don't stop. Connecticut, Gonzaga.
Connecticut, Gonzaga.
Charlotte.
Washington.
And more on that coming up between games as Devin Robinson, great spark tonight off the bench.
If Florida's going to get back within double digits again, they're going to have to convert on all these key chances from the free throw line. Robinson nailed the first one.
Michael Frazier, by the way, for Florida, staying in the game with 4 personal fouls. And Finney Smith, with 4 personal fouls, comes in for Robinson.
Florida doing a nice job from the foul line tonight, 14 for 16. After really struggling their first 2 games here. Hard to get over the hump if you don't make outside shots.
Johnson brings it into front court. 6'9" junior playing the point guard momentarily. Tokoto guarded by Frazier. Out front is Jackson. Nice smooth move. Can't get it to go. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tar Heels.
Again, the Florida bench thought that they this time had a 5-second count over in the far corner. Chioza's really hawking Page on that press.
Page, Meeks, Johnson, Tokoto, and Jackson out there for the Tar Heels. Johnson down low. Horford, good defense.
Turnover number 16 for North Carolina.
Still plenty of time, 7:20 to go in this one. Only a 13-point lead.
I think that's going to be a conversation piece once they get back to Chapel Hill, taking better care of the ball. Again, it's a reflection of 4 forwards in your lineup.
Hill takes it all the way down, loses it. Last touch, though, by Carolina. Dorian Finney-Smith, SEC 6th man of the year a season ago. Playing with those 4 fouls, gives it in to Horford. Hands to Hill, and he is fouled by Tokoto. That sort of says it all right now, the way Carolina fans may be feeling.
Yeah. Clock stopped. This is where you want to pick up some of those points. Still 7:04 to go. Hill needs to knock both of these down.
As I've said, guys, you know, Roy Williams has had issues with vertigo over the years. That's the second time tonight we've seen him a little unsteady.
Hill has 15 points. As Frazier goes to the sideline, Chioza comes back in. And Hill is 8 for 8 at the free throw line with 16.
Both of these teams now with 9 team fouls, so we're going to have a lot of free throws here in the last 7 minutes.
Boy, what a great job on this press.
Meeks brings it up, the big man doing the work.
North Carolina really having to work.
Inside, not there, follow-up is. Johnson couldn't get it to go. Meeks is there to clean it up. His 16th point, and he's going to the line.
Nice effort by Kennedy Meeks there on the weak side. You can see 2 defenders. He is all about that base.
I'm not sure Robinson's momentum that would actually put that ball in the basket.
Kennedy Meeks and Devin Robinson collide like that. Robinson might break in 2.
Meeks with 17, came into this tournament averaging 14.
I love how Meeks has done such an unbelievable job with his body. Dedication, discipline, perseverance, Tom.
Absolutely, really worked hard.
Happy for him.
And Meeks commits the foul out front on Hill.
He's really a popular guy on this team. He's got a great personality.
6'9" sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. And at the free throw line is Casey Hill, who is 8 for 8 on the evening. Hill was 17.
I'll tell you what, regardless of how this one turns out, Billy Donovan's going to be pleased with the effort he got from these Gators here in the second half after an abysmal first half shooting-wise.
His first miss at the line.
Remember, they were 13 for 23 against UAB from the foul line. flip that around tonight.
Tokoto from 3. Meeks keeps it alive, intercepted by Chiozza. He loses it, and back the other way is Jackson. Jackson, nice pass.
Oh.
Kennedy swiped away by Devin Robinson, and Robinson's called for the foul.
I think they may have gotten Finney Smith there with the body.
Yeah.
Could hear Robinson slap the orange from here.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
That's
for
Finney Smith. That's 5 for him. Yeah, what a block by Devin Robinson. Finney Smith is done for the night. Really hasn't given him much, to be honest. It's not been easy for him. There's 2 hairline fractures on his non-shooting hand, but he got 4 points tonight, 5 rebounds, never really gotten the flow. 2 for 10 from the floor.
So Finney Smith fouling out at the 6:04 mark. Back in the lineup with 4 fouls himself is Frazier.
And I wonder how Billy Donovan is going to manage this going forward. I mean, you talk about hairline fractures in the wrist. It's really not something that gets better quickly. Doesn't require surgery, really requires inactivity for several weeks.
And Meeks with 18 to lead Carolina tonight. And he gets a nice hand from his teammates as he goes out. Chiozza in front court. Kurtz, Horford, Frazier, and Robinson. Chiozza baseline, reverse is not there.
Nowhere to go.
Rebound Jackson.
Drove it into the trees, nowhere to go.
Britt and Tokoto. Shot won't go by Britt. Tip not there, and it's cleared out by Frazier. Chiozza with the 3. Kurtz keeps it alive. Frazier 3, yes.
That's what Kurtz does. He kept that one alive, gave Frazier an opportunity to finish with the 3.
Frazier's third 3 has 14. And the Gators are within 11.
We talked about Kurtz was a former student manager. Worked his way onto the team.
Tokoto takes it baseline and charges. Kurtz taking the charge.
Turnover number 18 for North Carolina. That's a lot. See if Kurtz was in position there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I know a lot of people don't like the charge call, and I don't like the charge call either. Under the rules, that is a charge. I think what is going to happen by next year, let's hope, we're all sitting here, God willing, this time next year, there's going to be a wider arc underneath the basket. You're going to have to be further out from the basket to be able to take a charge. I think that change is coming, and I think it will be widely welcomed by those of us who love this game.
Hill back in the lineup. Will go to the line.
Just could not be more impressed with Casey Hill and the way he is just seemingly improved from game to game down here in Paradise Island, the Bahamas.
Hill with the career high 17. Breaking the mark of 15 he set last January against North Florida.
And you know what I like about that 17, Kenny, is he's done it from the stripe. 9 points from the foul line, 9 for 11 on the night. He only shot 2 free throws against UAB. He shot 3 free throws against Georgetown. If you're the point guard, you've got to drive.
18 on the night for Hill.
Billy Donovan has played very little zone tonight. I think he likes the man-to-man harassment, creating those turnovers.
Coach Williams going to milk the clock a little bit.
Page 3 is there.
Killer.
Marcus Page with a dozen.
He's a killer.
Yeah, that's a dagger-like shot right there. You work the clock.
It's back to 13. Robinson answers. Devin Robinson with a big three. North Carolina up by 10. Florida has been able to whittle it down to 8, but get no closer. This after trailing by as many as 18 in the first half.
North Carolina can't shake them either.
Nice job, though, by Carolina. Run some of the air out of that clock.
Inside Hicks. Nice ball movement. Hicks finishes it off inside Isaiah Hicks.
Really smart offense for North Carolina. The other team makes a run. You want to be smart. You want to work it for a good shot. You want to play to your strength. And there's the young freshman, Devin Robinson, who's been very three happy so far early in his career and is using his athleticism and length to get his game going. Just smart recognition by North Carolina. Time, score, and throw it inside.
In this second half, Florida 1 for 15 in the first half, 4 for 9 on three-pointers.
I think Isaiah Hicks has definitely made the most of his opportunities here this week. Earned himself some minutes going forward. If he wants to stay on his coach's good side, he's going to take care of the ball because Kennedy Meeks sure has it. He's got 6 turnovers tonight. Tokoto, you normally sure-handed, has 4 turnovers as you see the foul trouble piling up.
There's Hicks with 4. Frazier in the lineup for the Gators. They're all important three-point threat, also with 4. Hill brings it up. Hill, Robinson, Frazier, Walker, Kurtz going here for the Gators. Straight away, Frazier rattles out. Kurtz the rebound. Back up, no. Tip won't go. Tip again, no. Comes back to Frazier with the thought. Frazier with the pass and the score. Beautiful pass, and putting it down is Chris Walker.
What a find. How'd he get it there?
Different look and intensity inside for Florida's second half.
These Gators don't quit.
Nate Britt out front. Jackson. Britt takes it, line lane. Not there. Good defense by Chris Walker to help alter that. Florida playing tough. Battle on the boards. Finishing it off here, Chris Walker. North Carolina still leads by 10.
The 2014 Battle for Atlantis is being brought to you in part by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas. Discover the wonders of Atlantis. Visit AtlantisBahamas.com.
Gorgeous night in the appropriately named Paradise Island, and back inside in the Imperial Ballroom. That's the Imperial Arena once a year for the Battle for Atlantis. It's North Carolina leading 67-57 over Florida. The Tar Heels up by as many as 18 by 16 at halftime. Florida has played tough here in the second half. North Carolina with Kennedy Meeks blocked by Chris Walker.
Wow. Shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation. Turnover again on North Carolina.
And that was an incredibly vicious block by Walker. Take another look at it here. Meeks is going up and, oh, get out of here with that one.
Wish you could still count the box score as a block, even though it was after a shot clock. Sounds fair.
Frazier backs off for the 3 and hits. Frazier with 4 3-pointers. He has 17.
He is rediscovering his stroke right before our eyes.
And Florida taking advantage of those turnovers, as you see. And here's Frazier.
Sizes up Isaiah Hicks. You got a bigger guy in front of you. Take a dribble back and let it fire. Like I said, when you're a great three-point shooter, not a good three-point shooter. You're talking about last year, Michael Frazier led the SEC in three-point percentage. Came in the night shooting 34.5% to shoot your way out of it. That's what he's been doing.
You can see that his three-point stroke, I mean, it's just a thing of beauty. It's just hadn't been going down for him.
It's like a hitter in a slump, Tom, right?
Absolutely.
Just keep swinging.
Got to keep shooting, and that's what this Florida Gator team needs it to do. That is who they are. They're a team that's got to be in transition and a team that's got to be able to knock down the long-range jumper.
The last time Florida trailed by 7 was when the score was 7-0.
Roy going with his ball handlers right now. Britt, Tokoto, and Page.
Page with a dozen on the night, hands to Britt.
Just don't commit a foul now for Florida with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Had to find Page, there he is.
Page driving, hanging, firing, not there, but he gets the foul.
Wow, the youngster Robinson just couldn't control his body. He was vertical with his arms, but that he just knocked into Marcus Page with the body. As we get a look, nice right there, boom.
Great picket fence pick there by Meeks and Bryce Johnson to free up Marcus Page.
As the shot clock was winding down, and Robinson picks up his 4th.
That's called closing the gate. The guard goes from the baseline to the top of the key. The 2 forwards close the gate so the defender can't get through. And then Page does a smart thing, driving and getting fouled as opposed to jacking up a 3.
Well, you let a team burn that entire shot clock and then commit the foul. That is tough with only 1:27 to go.
Theo Pension back in the lineup for defense for Carolina. Casey Hill with the career scoring night. Frazier drives line lane, hangs, not there, tip won't go, tip again. Battle inside, up with it and good, and he's fouled as Chris Walker.
Whoa. And credit Kurtz. Kurtz, the lunch pail guy in there, keeping that alive until Walker can come up with it. Look at him. Finally, Walker comes up, but I got to credit Kurtz. He has been doing that the entire second half, and you can see why Billy Donovan gives him some key minutes.
And Isaiah Hicks committing his 5th foul.
Florida Gators.
Florida will go to the press here.
6 for 26 from 3-point range, and they have a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Remarkable.
Such a great turnaround after a 1 for 15 3-point shooting first half. Seven-point game, Britt front court.
Gators going to work some clock and try to get Page to the line again. He'll shoot 2.
And
that
Robinson
is not a good foul.
commits his 5th foul.
I don't like that foul. You play defense for that long. Plenty of time on the clock, and now it's his 5th.
And he'll join Dorian Finney-Smith on the bench. 2 Gators who have fouled out tonight. And some good minutes for Devin Robinson.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good minutes.
You don't want to foul the best free throw shooter in the history of North Carolina basketball at that stage of the game. Still 50 seconds on the shot clock, but you're right, guys. Devin Robinson's given us some good minutes. Another young freshman came in somewhat heralded. Word out of Gainesville was that first 2 weeks of practice, the kid never missed a shot. I think he fell in love with his jump shot, lost his identity, but he's gained a little bit more of his identity tonight, and I think so has Chris Walker, by the way. This is possibly the best game that he's played at Florida, certainly this season.
Impressive showing with those 4 points, 4 rebounds for Walker, and key moments when he got those rebounds and made those shots. And close to automatic is Marcus Page at the free throw line.
A lot of heart, though, tonight for the Gators. A lot of heart. Billy Donovan, the guy that epitomized playing with heart, is going to be appreciative of what his team did here in the second half.
Page hits them both. 9 points again. The lead for Carolina. Inside Walker. Walker is called for steps.
Yeah.
Carolina D surrounded him and forces the turnover with 40 seconds to go and a 9-point lead.
Nice entry pass inside, but Carolina doubled him quickly.
And Johnson's fouled. A 73% free throw shooter will go to the line, who is 0 for 3 on the evening.
And the chants of Tar Heels echo through Imperial Arena here in the Bahamas.
It's a tough turnover there for Chris Walker. Credit the Carolina bigs for surrounding him without fouling him. His mind got a little bit ahead of his feet, but the effort was there and the purpose was there. Establishing himself in the post, being a good target.
Bryce Johnson hitting his first free throw of the night after 3 misses. Tip back outside, Johnson gets it again, and he'll go to the line again, being fouled.
That's where they miss it, Devin Robinson. Devin Robinson's done a good job on the glass. Blocking shots, defensive rebounds, tips, deflections.
As Billy Donovan talked to us earlier this week, after he won those back-to-back championships at 06, 07, said he learned a lot along the way. The next years had some NIT teams and concerned how were things going. Is this a program that's going to be able to sustain itself? Certainly it has. And one of the reasons is the patience in learning that early season losses don't make a season. They remember what happens later on. Frazier for 3. That one in and out. And a big rebound by Johnson. And he is fouled by Chris Walker with 23 seconds to go.
That'll just about do it. Sharpie, North Carolina. They're getting out of here with a win, but a lot to work on back at Chapel Hill.
Especially with the number 23 up there on that time remaining.
Hey, they lost to Butler.
Nicely done, Kenny.
They lost to Butler.
You really do pay attention. I thought you were just kind of hanging out.
73-62. North Carolina bouncing back after getting whipped on the boards by Butler to open this tournament. Out-rebounded, bad free throw shooting. Roy Williams made a change in his starting lineup yesterday. They won big against UCLA. They have controlled this game, leading all the way and withstanding some good runs by Florida. Conversely, Florida showing a lot of heart coming back in this second half, things that they're looking for down the road.
And North Carolina's offensive execution was really good these last 3-4 minutes as Florida made the run. They tightened up in terms of the turnovers. They made good decisions in their half-court offense. They got it to their bigs inside. They got their best free throw shooters on the foul line. When game time came, they responded.
Casey Hill puts through another. That's 20, a career high that he continues to build on. Britt front court, he'll dribble it out. North Carolina will leave the island with its second win. Coach Roy Williams and Billy Donovan, they have combined 2 championships each, making it 4 titles for North Carolina and Florida in the last 10 NCAA tournaments. And the Tar Heels go to 5-1, the Gators to 3-3. Final score, North Carolina 75, Florida 64. Coming up next, UCLA will take on UAB to wrap up this tournament. And when we come back, we have much more coming up from Atlantis, where the Tar Heels look strong tonight over a scrappy bunch of Gators that made it an interesting second half. Stay with us from Atlantis.